So question 23 is like honestly an interesting question. So in this question, we have a corner of a tiled floor as shown. If the entire floor is tiled in this way and each of the four corners looks like this one, we want to know then what fractions of the tiled floor is made of darker tiles. So I think one of the weird things about this problem is it might be like confusing, maybe. Like this diagram that they gave us is kind of weird, right? So the diagram that they gave us is kind of like a portion of the big floor, right? So you can think of it as like this like image that they gave us is kind of like a portion of the entire floor. And we have to like continue and extend this pattern. So notice that like if I drew like if I consider this square here, like this red square, um, if I consider this red square, like the stuff inside that red square too, uh notice that like you have this kind of like uh this what do you call it, this like shaded portion in here, um and we can kind of see that like this shaded portion, this like red tile, you can kind of think of it as like repeating it, right? So like you can like repeat it on this side as well. Like if you're to continue the pattern, you would have like this here. So the question wants us to like find the fraction of the tiled floor that is made of darker tiles. So like we don't actually need to know what the size of the floor is, right? We only need to know what fraction of the tiled floor is made of darker tiles. So the idea is you can just focus in on this like on this one red square here, like this red square here. And then look at like what portion of that red square is made of darker tiles, right? Because it's kind of like we're extending this pattern. This pattern is like repeated. So like we can kind of just find the shaded fraction of like that one tile, like this tile here, and that would give us like the same answer. So we see that like this red tile here, it's a 6 by 6 square. So like the area of that tile is going to be 36. And then the area of the shaded portion, like each of these like squares is like has area 1, right? So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So first you have 12 of these like small unit squares. And then you have like these like 4 triangles, or these kind of like triangles on the corners here. And each of these triangles has area 1. Each of these green triangles has area 1, and the reason is because you can think of it as like the base here has length 2. Right? It's kind of hard to draw. Or alternatively, you can find the area by like noticing that like each of these triangles on the corners, they're made up of like 2 of these like half squares kind of. And if you were to put those 2 half squares together, you get a whole square, which is area 1. So each of these like green triangles has like area 1. And you have like 4 of these green triangles, so you just add 4. So then the area of the entire shaded region is just 16, and then the denominator is 36. So the fraction of the tiled floor that's made of darker squares is going to be like, if you simplify that, it's going to be 4/9. That's going to be like choice B, and we're done. So I think this is also like a pretty common kind of question, I should say, like where they give you some like geometric figure, and they tell you, oh, suppose that you continue this pattern, like you continue this pattern infinitely, or you continue this pattern like more, and they ask you, find the portion of the region that is covered with some shape or something like that. So this is a pretty common kind of question. The main strategy is to like zoom in and focus on like one of like the tiles. Like in this case, we focus on the red square, because we know the red square and the shaded squares inside the red square, it's going to repeat. So like we kind of like focus on that, and that would give us like the same answer.